trust. What is it? It's the Real Estate Show. Welcome to the Real Estate Show. My name's Rick Naples. I'm the owner-broker of Zone Realty LLC. You zone your home. Trust. It's an interesting word. What does it actually mean? There's a lot of stuff that's on the internet and a lot of research you can do about the concept of trust. We all have trust in our lives. I mean, trust is part of the relationships we have with other people. We have trust that people are going to do what they say they're going to do. We have trust in our loved ones. We trust our friends. But we also place a lot of trust in the people or the companies we do business in. Trust is something that is part of all of our lives. It's part of, as I said, the relationships that we develop. But when you think about it, is trust something that's automatic? Is it something that you give freely? Or do you feel trust is something that has to be earned? It's very interesting to read the number of articles that are out there that philosophize about what trust is. I found a quote in Forbes magazine that pretty much sums up the idea of trust. And let me read it to you. It says basically, trust lies at the core of our relationships. It's the currency of life. Interesting thing to think about. I'm talking here on the Real Estate Show about the concept or the idea of trust, and especially when it comes to putting trust in a business or in an individual. You know, there's a lot of almost kind of joke-like looks at when people think of trust and sales, when they put sales together. I mean, it's almost an automatic that you do not trust a salesperson. And there's a reasoning behind that, and the reasoning usually is suspicion. I mean, you don't know if the salesperson has the exact idea of what you're looking for. In other words, are you meeting of the minds? Are they giving you what you want or what you need, or are they trying to push on you something that they want and they need? Perfect example, I hate to say, is when you walk in to buy a car. I don't want to slam the car business. I have a lot of friends that are in the car business. I was in the car business myself for a number of years. But there's almost an expectation of mistrust when you walk into a car dealership. And the salesperson or the dealer has to work very hard to earn that trust from you, the customer, before you'll move forward and make a purchase. I mean, the old saying is you only buy from the people you trust. So you've got to get to that point before you go to the next step. The reason why I'm talking about this, folks, is I'm trying to relate this to real estate, my business. As a realtor, we deal with trust every single day. In fact, realtors themselves have to live up to a strict code of ethics with the National Association of Realtors in order to call ourselves just that, realtors. But we don't want to assume that because we're realtors, someone that's looking to put the largest purchase of their lifetime, their home, for sale through us through a listing agreement is automatically going to trust us. So we have to prove ourselves every single day that we're out there. Now, you can look at statistics on the internet. You can look at statistics on this person sold this many houses in this much time. You can look at the big franchise companies and make assumptions that because they're so big, they've sold a lot of houses, maybe I should trust them. But it all boils down to interpersonal relationships. The relationship between you and the professional that you're going to hire. Do you trust them to have the ability and the experience, the expertise, to accomplish what your goal is, and that's selling your house? And let's flip that to the other side. Let's say you're a buyer out there and you're looking to buy a house. You hire a realtor, you're trusting that person to help you find the purchase that you're going to make. Again, the largest purchase you may make in your lifetime. You're trusting that individual's knowledge and expertise to help you get through the real estate transaction and all the different steps that you have to go through in order to get to that closing to own the home. You're trusting that individual that they're going to take you to homes that you want to see, that you're actually interested in, that may fit your wants, may fit your specific needs. There's a lot of assumptions there. The best way to develop trust with anything is through conversation. Obviously, if you sit down with somebody and you talk to them for a while and you begin to find some common ground and you begin to agree as to what your common goal is going to be, you're going to start to develop that trust. Now, sometimes trust is automatic. I mean, we all trust people in our families, correct? Well, do we? I mean, you have trust that your son or daughter is going to put their bike away when they're finished playing with it. You have trust that the husband or wife is going to come home safely from work every single day. You have trust that a relative is going to be there for you in a time of need. Those are assumptions that you have when you have the idea of trust. As we all know, sometimes that's not the fact. But trust is a very important part of our lives. As I said, it's the currency of life. It's something that we all have. We all trust. We all trust willingly. An article in Inc. magazine was doing some quotes on the concept or the idea of trust. And I found 3 of them that I thought were pretty interesting, and I wanted to share them with you here on the Real Estate Show. The first one is trust is built and maintained by many small actions over time. Now, as I said, we all automatically give trust to people that we know, but that's because we know them. We've, over time, gotten to know them as friends or relatives or business acquaintances or whatever. So we're willing to give that most valuable commodity that we have, our trust for them, or our trust to do business with them, or our trust to be a friend with them, and so on and so forth. The second quote here is, trust is not a matter of techniques, tricks, or tools, but of character. That kind of says it all, doesn't it? And the third quote that I picked that I like was, we are trusted because of our way of being, not because of our polished extensions or exteriors or our expertly stated communications, or excellently crafted communications is what I meant to say. So in other words, you know right off at the start if someone is talking to you that you don't know, that you haven't developed trust in, and they seem to be saying all the right things to you. We all know BS when we hear it, correct? But the bottom line simply is that trust is something that's developed over time. So again, as I said earlier, as a realtor, we only have a few minutes in the initial meeting where we're meeting with somebody to start to develop a trustful relationship. I mean, after all, as realtors, we're going to be hired to either help find or sell a very large financial commitment of the individual that we're working with. Trust. It's an interesting thing. In this part of the real estate show called the Real Estate Mailbag, I take the opportunity to try to address questions sent to me here at the Real Estate Show. And I had a very interesting email that kind of gave me the idea to talk about trust and the circumstances surrounding trust. And the email basically was from a viewer that had said to me that they look at pictures all the time of homes that are for sale on the internet. And they trust that those pictures are the true depictions of a house. It's what it looks like. And from those pictures, they made a decision to go out with a realtor and take a look at certain properties. Their disappointment is when they got out to a couple of the different properties, the properties in no way looked like the pictures. In other words, the pictures that were placed on the internet were pictures that were not necessarily altered, but were enhanced in such a way to make them appealing to accomplish the job that the individual who posted them wanted to accomplish, and that's to have people come out and take a look at the house. But the bottom line is the house did not look like that. Now, what I'm talking about is I'm not talking about certain techniques that realtors might use when they post pictures. Like, for instance, if you take a picture of a room during a certain point of the day, the room might come out dark. So you have the ability in your photo editor to lighten up the picture a little bit so you can be seen a little bit better. I'm not talking about those alterations. What I'm referring to is certain individuals may post pictures on the internet where they have the ability through a photo editor to maybe change colors, to take an empty room and virtually add furniture into the room, or maybe they have a way of making the grass look greener or the house look more cleaner or presentable as far as it's concerned. There are a lot of things you can do with a photo editor to adjust pictures. Realtors are held to a strict code of ethics. And what I mean by that is that boils right down to the photographs that realtors take. The photographs must be a true and real depiction of the home they're looking to market and sell. So no doctoring of the photos. It is what it is. That's why a lot of times you'll look on the internet and you see people's messes in their homes because the realtor doesn't so-called stage it. They just take a picture. It is what it is. And you kind of got to look through all that stuff. Professional photographs are great. Photographers who have that as their profession know how to light a room or how to take a picture that will show the room in its best way. They're not altering the photograph, however. They are taking a good, clear picture of a room. Now, realtors may move some furniture around. They may adjust some things on the walls or whatever for privacy issues. I'm not so much talking about that. But I am talking about when you are looking at the pictures in the internet, if they've been posted by a professional realtor that lives up to the code of ethics at the National Association of Realtors, those pictures are true pictures, and you can trust the photographs you're seeing. Thank you for watching. My name is Rick Naples, owner-broker of Zone Realty LLC. Trust to see you next time.